This is how to create a job description for a virtual assistant. And a quick reminder, this is all part of this cheat sheet. If you go to vacheatsheet.com, it'll walk you through the steps to get the PDF that helps this make a lot more sense. So this is the tutorial video for specifically how to create the job description. And this is the method we use. I learned all of this from Darren Hardy in his insane productivity class, which I highly recommend. If you Google that, you can track that down or just message me and I can get you connected to the head of Darren's VIP relations and get you an inside track to getting set up with that course. And he set up the format for this, and we use it in our team for every scorecard we have. So this is not just a job description, but this is a scorecard, as you can see here, and it's something that we review every quarter. So every quarter we go through and we score everybody based on how they did on these various categories. So this is not just virtual assistants, this is everybody on the team. And I'm just going to walk through a virtual assistant scorecard. So the first thing is just the mission. This is the heart, the reason behind the position. In this case, Brad is one of our outside sales agents here. So to assist Brad and the entire sales team. So you could modify this, of course, if it's just you, it would be you. If it's a big team, you can kind of modify this as appropriate and appropriate to your mission. So to assist Brad and their entire sales team in every way possible, covering all non-licensed sales activity, allowing them to focus on a much higher level on client communication and licensed work, further advancing the mission of the Glutch Group to humanize the real estate industry by providing a truly exceptional client experience that helps people find home. That's our mission. So I want everyone to understand how what they do ties to our mission. And you may not have all this figured out. That's okay. Don't let that get in the way. Just you can leave this blank. Anything on here, a lot of this stuff took a long time for us to come up with. Like we didn't just dream up a mission overnight, right? So anything on here that is not helpful, just delete it. You just right click here and delete the row, and it'll go away, and you just don't have to worry about this. You can deal with it down the road. Don't let that hang you up. This is one though that is critical: results. This is what you're being paid for. So we're not hiring people to like punch a clock. We want a result to come from their service. And for an assistant at any level on our team, their results are twofold. One is that the person they're serving is freed up to do what their mission really is. So your mission as an assistant is to free up the person that you're assisting to do their mission. And then second is to serve the clients. So the clients feel important. They're responded to accurately, quickly, with a high level of excellence and professionalism. And so every quarter we'll go through, and this is kind of these three rankings that we give people are how well they're doing on a scale of 1 to 10. And this is kind of their big picture, like here's how you're doing. And I recommend you absolutely do this. What I have learned about many overseas cultures is they really thrive on feedback, even more than those of us in the US do. The more the better, almost, to where it's kind of way more than you think they need. So absolutely, at the very least, once a quarter, you'll want to go through this. In the beginning, probably more often. Key skills. These are the skills required for the job. Follow through, like doing what you said you're going to do. Transaction management. Eventually, they're going to have to learn. At least on our team, we've got folks. They really learn how real estate works, so they can help with various transactional parts of the business. Problem solving, professional skills. That makes sense. You can use whatever skills you want here. And if you need to add a row, you just insert row below, right click there, and got another. You can add as many skills as you want. Key attributes. This is another thing I got from Darren. If you Google Darren Hardy 12 attributes of an A-team player, you'll see his great video series on that, which I don't have his same attributes, but I use his system for that. And so this is like who we are. This is like what we do, what this person does on the team. This is kind of how they do it and who they are. So we want to make sure that people are like a Glutch Group team player. I'll talk more about that, I'm sure, in future videos, and you can check out Darren's series there. Again, you probably don't have this. So if you don't, that's fine. Just get rid of all this and move on. This is critical. You'll have to have this. Key responsibilities, the more the better. This is actually not probably near enough for what most assistants are going to have. Our assistants are pretty laser focused on specific activities more than most because we have so many. But just a few examples, and I do want to spend a little time on this. Setting up showings. So when you're showing houses, you should not be spending a lot of time setting up showings. So in fact, let me see if I can show you an example. Here we go. Let's open that up. So this is one of our OSAs, home showing. Rachel And here we've got the address of the property. This is the MLS number, important info, most recent shown date. This is the information for the client. And that helps. Most people don't need that. That helps us because we're helping each other out with clients. So we know like what's going on with this client. Infusionsoft link, that's a link to the client information. And then showings today. Here's the MLS number, the time that we told the seller we would be there. Here's the address, phone number, remarks, and if they have any offers, special instructions, agents will meet you at the house. So this, Garrett didn't do any of this. This is our agent, one of our agents, Garrett. All of this was done by a virtual assistant, gate code, all this other stuff, making sure that when Garrett shows up to the house, he knows everything he could possibly need to know about this property, but without having to do the homework of setting. You can see here what time, it's all confirmed, it's got the address, and he just pulls this up on his phone and hits a hyperlink, and his phone tells him where to go. Now that all happens automatically. His assistant gets an email that was sent to Garrett because he's watching Garrett's email and sets all of this up like, okay, great, replies back to the client. So Garrett, he's maybe showing houses or he's at dinner, whatever it is. He's on a buyer webinar, and let's say this client emails and says, hey, I need to see some houses at noon. Boom, it's all set up, all gets taken care of. So calling the listing agent, all the stuff required to get that going, that happens automatically. Pretty awesome. That's a great first place to start. Managing emails. Again, I've talked about this in the cheat sheet already, but your VA should be managing your emails. That takes time to learn and understand how that all works, but absolutely should be doing that. Writing offers. Like we actually have people, we kind of played back and forth with this. And of course, you need to be a licensed agent to write an offer, right? So, but what your VA can do is help kind of set up some of the template stuff, get some of the boilerplate language ready for you. We don't do a lot of this, to be honest. We've kind of played with this and it's been kind of more pain than it's worth, but it's something you could consider creating a system for, having your VAs help write some of the offers. Managing escrows. So this would be like transaction coordinator type work, setting up inspections, running permit checks, all the different stuff that has to happen with a transaction. Managing an MLS email. And so this would be, if you have listings, you get a lot of questions from agents and all kind of stuff that could probably be handled by a virtual assistant. Training new virtual assistants, if you're going to grow your team, once you get someone up and running, they should be responsible in part for training new people. Backup for other VAs. All of our virtual assistants have somebody who backs them up in case they're sick, on vacation, whatever. So part of it is they need to learn how to be a backup. Packaging offers. This we do every time we get an offer on a listing. That offer goes to one of our VAs, and the VAs will actually pull all the main details out of that offer and summarize it for the client, and then email it to the agent. The listing agent will then make sure it's all right and forward it to the client. And you get an offer. It's whatever, 10, 20 pages long. That's a lot of information for our client to digest. So we just make it real simple for them. Hey, here's the bottom line. Here are the things you need to be aware of. And that takes a lot of time, especially maybe you get 8 or 10 offers on a house. That way this all gets sped up. Update OSAs, check and balance. This is like mystery shopping on our back end, like where all the phone calls made that were supposed to be made, where all the emails sent that were supposed to be sent. This is just checks and balances to make sure that everything that's supposed to be happening does happen. ISA on the weekends. So this inside sales, some of our VAs cover the phones on the weekends. Whatever comes up, this is important to put on every job description. We have this on everybody on the team's job description because at the end of the day, we never want people to feel entitled, like, oh, that's not my job. Like, it's not okay to say that's not my job. Like, you can figure out, like, hey, how to handle it. And then maybe at some point, we make sure that somebody moving forward takes care of that, not you, if it really shouldn't be your job. But people always, if stuff comes up that's kind of outside the wheelhouse, we want to catch all here. So attend team meetings, whatever. You can add all this stuff on here. And then vital functions, like of all this stuff, what's the most important things? And these are the top 3 things. So we really, okay, yeah, we got all this stuff going on, but here's the critical ones. Vital functions, again, this is part of Darren's system. And then vital priorities, like what are you focusing on? Whether it's, it could be improvement, getting better at something. It could be, a certain priority, like a project you're working on. This is typically going to be projects that people are working on for the quarter. If someone's brand new, their vital priority would be like learning how to use the systems you have, whatever it is. And then vital metrics. So we score people. And you're not going to have this. You'd have to really go through Darren's program to understand some of this stuff. So you might just pull like vital metrics out of there. If you're scoring people in some way, you can put that in here. So average response rate under an hour. You could just put, are there any metrics, any numbers you could be measuring here? And that's about it. Other R&D, anything else you're working on would go here. So that gives you a good sense for our scorecards and what we do. That's going to probably also give you some questions. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, you just really need the critical stuff. What's the mission? What are the results you're paying for? What are the attributes? The responsibilities right here. That's really the critical stuff, and a system for reviewing the people regularly. So hopefully that helps you get started and get you going on creating a great job description for your virtual assistant.